الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، حياكم الله my sisters. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن شاء الله you're all well. ربنا علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما، اللهم آمين. وعليكم السلام. Inshallah, we'll review now what we learned from verse 32. I think we finished it. We're going to review it quickly and then move on. Before that, I would like to remind you with something important. Scholars pointed at it about the intention of understanding the Quran or the intention of asking a question related to the Quran. So they highlighted that if someone is when they are asking a question related to the Quran, their intention is, I want to understand because I don't understand, and that will help me in understanding the Quran, understanding my deen, in protecting me from going to Nar, in showing me ways to go to Jannah, to do good in this life, so I can go to Jannah bi'idhnillah, with rahmatillah, with Allah's mercy. Then this is a good intention to ask the question or to understand or to seek to understand. However, they pointed out as well that some people don't read the Quran or ask a question for that purpose. So you tell me, okay, what would be then the purpose that they have that we should avoid? So some purposes would be that maybe you ask a question that you already know the answer. So imagine you are in a class now, we are in the class, and you already know the answer to a question that you're about to ask. But you say, I will ask it anyway. Maybe others don't know. So then you're not asking for you to get benefit. And because that's not clear intention, it's not sincere intention for seeking the benefit, you may end up doing what? By that question. So the intention of that question is not for you to benefit, it's not for you to seek closeness to Allah, it's not for you to. The intention of the question is maybe other people don't know, so by them hearing the answer, they will. So what do you think could happen with that intention, with asking a question, with a question that's not clear, it's not sincere 100%? What could have happened, or what could happen based on that intention? Ahsanti, first. So because it's not right intention from the start, so the results are not going to be right. Ego, and you may end up, yes, but what's going to happen in the class or in the situation where the question is asked? We are not here, a'udhu billah, may Allah accept our deeds, all of us. We're not here to judge somebody's deeds. We're saying, what is the result? What is the result of asking a question without a sincere intention? Wasting time, boosting somebody's ego, that's not right. But the one thing that can happen and happen all the time, that other people get confused. So instead of you seeking clarity for yourself and helping others because you were sincere to seek clarity, walaikum salam, because your intention was not clear, subhanallah, other people could have fitna based on your intention. And now the teacher or the speaker or whoever is taking the question now answered it, but that answer didn't clear for everybody else, and they end up getting confused and end up getting out of the topic. So that's the first thing, which is asking a question without a clear intention or sincere intention. The other thing is seeking to learn the Quran or to read the verses, but not again with a sincere or a clear intention. What that intention could be, because I heard an argument, people were talking about this verse and they were arguing about it. Now I want to know, what's your say about it? So it is not because you want to understand, it's just you want to know if what the speaker would say will go along with one of the other arguments. So again, it's not sincere. It's not for the one who has this intention, doesn't have a clear intention to learn and get benefit and get beauty from the Quran. They want to see what about the other discussion. Who the speaker in this class, is it going to be with this side of the argument or the other side? The scholars have something important to say about that. I hope you take note. They said if someone has intention like that, that's not sincere, with the possibility or potential that they have bad assumption about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or about the verse, they may end up, a'udhu billah, deprived the understanding altogether. It's very, very important. If someone sought or talking about a verse or bringing a verse up, not because they want to understand it, is because they know that there are people speaking about it and they want to know, like they don't have a sincere intention. Or they have bad assumption, a'udhu billah, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or about the verse. Then that assumption of theirs will end up that they may be deprived from understanding the Quran, a'udhu billah, altogether, or understanding that verse all the way. Why? Can you see why? Can we see why they will be deprived? And they said, I don't understand it. And I attended like XYZ numbers of times, and people keep telling me the same thing, and I don't understand still. We tell this sister what? Check your intention. Why are you bringing this verse up every time? Why is it that you want to understand it? Is it to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or there is another purpose? If there is another purpose, clear that purpose. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with the understanding. This is His words. These are His words, right? So the first note we had today before, I will, if you don't mind, add a reminder so you remember it and you advise others as well with it before we start reviewing verse number 32, which is check the intention, your intention of asking a certain question about Quran or bringing verse up, wanting the speaker or in the class or to like people that are discussing a certain, bringing certain verse up, not because you don't understand it, you do understand it, but you want to see how are they going to argue about it. Fueling the argument is not a good purpose. Therefore, the person who does that, therefore, a'udhu billah, they may end up not being allowed to understand the Quran or that verse until their intention is clear. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us min al-mukhlisin. Al-mukhlis is the one that has 100% purity in their intention, only to seek Allah's satisfaction, only to seek closeness to Him, open heart, thirsty to hear what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about this. This is our situation. This is where we stand. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the mukhlisin and make us from the muhsineen. Allahumma ameen. Okay, so now we're going to review our verse, inshallah. Please have your notes ready. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه. We reviewed that as well last time. This is Imra'atul Aziz commenting or speaking after the event when all the women that she invited in her place, they cut their hands with the knife, not paying attention to their hand or to the knife or their hands and the knives when they saw Yusuf alayhi salam coming in, or when he went inside the room or came out on them in that room or in that seating place or area. So she said that is the one that you blamed me in him or in his regard. Because of him, you blamed me. You blame me in him, not only because of him. So please try to add in him if you didn't add it in your notes. Because what they blamed, that she is the wife of the minister, the financial minister, and she shouldn't be looking or being attached to her servant, as she should, like they think she's too she's above that, she shouldn't do that. But when this happened, now she is pointing out that, and she's saying that is the one. And now she didn't stop at this point, she now say it in words. She's not hiding, she's not putting like a figure of speech or anyway. No, she's saying it with the clear words. And indeed, a'udhu billah, I have asked him for himself. A'udhu billah. Of course, indecent, like in an indecent way or immoral way, right? Between brackets, or we have like a note related to that, that has to be in different ways, because murawada means to go back and ask the person again and try in different ways. فاستعصم, so he sought isma. What does asama mean? Remember, if you took note from last week, what does asama mean? We explained asama, and we explained istasam. So isma or asama means to do what? To ahsanti, to shield, to guard, to protect. So he istasam means he sought to protect himself firmly, not to allow himself to be engaged in that, which is, subhanallah, although he to shield, protect, guard firmly, ahsanti, himself between brackets, okay? So this is a testimonial that he didn't do it in the first place. Remember when she opened the door and found her husband, and she maybe gestured that he could have done it. Now she is confessing clearly that he didn't do it. And he firmly protected himself, or hardly protected himself. Hardly is her understanding of it. Not that what Yusuf alayhi salam did. Yusuf alayhi salam, it's a fitna situation. He guarded himself. He sought refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, ma'ad Allah. Okay, what is very important to point out in this part of the verse, that Yusuf alayhi salam, according to this situation, his situation is what? He is a servant in that, or a slave in that house. Can we confirm? Can we confirm that we understand that he is in the Al-Aziz's house? That he, okay. What is it that he owns? What is it that he owns in that house? What is the answer? Can you? No, there is one answer. It is nothing if we talk about tangible things, but there is one thing he owns, one thing he has a say about. Himself. Ahsanti. Look at the word. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say himself. Exactly, himself, his body. No one should have a say in somebody's body, what to do with it, except that one. Your body is under your, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it under your amana. You guard it, you protect it, right? You do only what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to do in it. That's amana. So Yusuf alayhi salam was asked as a servant or a slave to give the only thing. You see, this is what she's saying. As the mistress of the house, she asked him to give the only thing he has a say on what to do in it. Can you believe? Of course, you can believe, but I'm saying, can you believe her logic? Can you believe someone knows that the other person has nothing for them? They don't have finance, they don't have properties, they don't have wealth to give. They only have themselves, and they still couldn't keep it for them. They wanted it still. Subhanallah. And she's finding it strange that he's protected himself and shielded himself from that, from her desiring it. And then she continued to say, وَلَئِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمُرُهُ, and if, in case, or if, which is the in, he didn't do what I amuruhu, what I ordered, sorry, what I order him. Amara is in the present. What I order him, there is a consequence. There is a consequence for what? For not allowing someone to access to somebody's bodies or self. He's going to have these consequences if he doesn't submit to give himself as a request, as requested, subhanAllah. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that she said, La yusjananna, indeed for sure. How do we understand La yusjananna? How did we explain La yusjananna? My sisters, indeed, for sure, he is imprisoned. Indeed, he, between bracket ahsanti, is imprisoned for sure. Ahsanti, my sister. Jazakumullah khairan. So she's confirming twice, and the confirmation you find in the language, in the lam, in the beginning, and in the noon at the end. And then she continued to say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that she said, and again, indeed, which is the la, yakunan, we had a mention for it last week. We said verbs usually are not munawwan, they don't have tanween. This verb does have. And what is the purpose of that? I told you I'll share with you this week. One of the purposes that it could be, or Arabs could do tanween for verbs, although it's very rare for them to do that, is to actually confirm, but without a heavy noon. Look at this, it's very subtle. If you miss it, or if you don't understand it, it's okay. It's a language aspect. So this noon in Arabic, look here, in la yusjananna, this noon with the shadda is called, we say no mushaddada. Mushaddada means what has a lot of emphasis, stress. This one is called, if it happened to attach to a verb a tanween, then we can call it we can call it tawkid as well, emphasis as well, but lighter. So we say noon mukhaffafa. So it's tawkid, it's emphasis, but it's not as strong as having the noon shadda on it. So, which means what she's trying to emphasize is that for sure there is no doubt that he is going to be in the prison, but maybe lesser doubt that he's going to be from as-saghirin. Like she's confirming, but not a lot, that she's going to make him from those who are disgraced. So there is a difference a little bit in the strength of the statement. In the first statement, it's very strong. In the second statement, there is an indeed, but there is a lighter indeed, you see. And then min as-saghirin. So the second part of the statement, of her statement here, sound to an Arabic ear as it's a bit lighter than the first one. So if you ask someone, is she going to put Yusuf alayhi salam in prison for sure if he continued to say, no, I don't want? What is the answer? Yes, for sure. No hesitation. Why? She confirmed it twice. But is she going to make him as-saghirin? There is a confirmation, but not so strong. There is one confirmation here, but it's not so strong. Okay. Then, what happened after that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Qala. So, who is now speaking? Now, you are in the flow. Who you think now will have the say? If you say Yusuf alayhi salam, please. So Yusuf alayhi salam now said something. Rabbi. We understand this Rabbi. If you don't know the context, Rabbi can mean my Lord, could be referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm saying could be, and tell me how come you're saying could be? I say yes, because Rabb in Arabic is not only for, it can be used for human as well. The Rabb is the master of the servant or the slave. So in this situation, at Al-Aziz's house, Al-Aziz is the Rabb, and Yusuf alayhi salam is the Abd. Exactly, master of the house, Rabbul Usra, the father or the grandfather or the uncle, the one who works to provide for the house, is called Rabbul Usra. We use the word Rabb for that. So when we hear here Rabbi without any attachment, we know here that he's not referring the Lord of the house. He is talking to his Lord, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's making a dua. So Yusuf alayhi salam in this case is actually turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, Rabbi, as-sijnu. What does as-sijnu mean? As-sijnu. My sisters, please try to take every gesture or everything you see in the word into account. As-sijnu is the prison. It's not prison. The prison, because she is threatened with the prison, right? And she can do that. As a mistress of the house, she can order someone to come and put him in and lock him, right? She can. But making him from a saghirin, she can't. If someone threatens someone else to disgrace them, they could try to disgrace them by any disgraceful action. But if that actually going to disgrace the other person or not, it's relative. Some people could be disgraced with that action, some people couldn't, and they still not caring about what the other person did. So as-sijnu, the prison. And then he said, ahabbu ilayya. So what does ahabbu mean? And ilayya. If we know ahabbu, or we can relate ahabbu to something we know, and ilayya. Okay, ahsanti. Although here it is not a verb, it's more, or not a normal verb. That's not a present verb. It's a called fi'l tafdeel. It's like it has a comparison in it. It's like saying more preferred to me, more lovable to me. I love more. Okay. So as-sijnu is more beloved to me. Can you believe as-sijn, the prison, is more beloved, not more comfortable, not safer. Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that he said more beloved. How do we understand this in the context? The context that has the other women accusing Imra'atul Aziz, that we have seen this word love before, when they said that, what did they say? Who remember? How did it happen? All this meeting and them sitting and giving the knife, based on what? They said something. Who remembers what they said? Who remembers what they said? The other women. My sisters. Okay. Before that situation, how did the situation happen to start with? That she invited them and she gave them the knives. Why did this happen to start with? Because they had something to say that started all that. Ahsanti, my sister. May Allah bless you. They were blaming the wife of Al-Aziz. What do you remember what they said? When they said, how come the wife of Al-Aziz do that? But they used the word. I would like you to tell me the word, because here we can see the connection. They said, okay, she was in love with her boy servant. تراود, but this is not the word. قد شغفها حبا. Let me show you now the verse. So now you understand what I'm referring to. Let me take you back. When you're understanding the Quran, you have to continue doing that. You find a word, you're now reading, ask yourself, did I see that before? And go back and check. You will find the answer. You'll find the connection that you didn't see before. Look at this verse, verse number 30. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the niswa, that are considered to be a higher or a close class to Al-Aziz and his wife, in the city, they said, Imra'atul Aziz turawidu fataha an nafsih. The wife of Al-Aziz is trying or attempting or asking her boy servant for himself immorally. But then they said this, look, قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. This is the word حُبًّا here. So she did something in her house about closing the doors and doing that. They had something to say that's related to love. Now, Yusuf alayhi salam is doing something else or saying something else. He's saying, and they can hear him, and I will tell you why they can hear him. He said, السجن, the prison, أحب إلي, is more beloved to me. So it is not about any of them. Why I'm saying any of them, you will see in a second. You will see in a second. مما يدعونني إليه. It's more beloved to me than يدعونني. How do you look at يدعونني? Let me show you. يدعون is looks like this in يدعون, without the me part at the end. Is this singular? Those of you that have even very simple knowledge about Arabic grammar. Is يدعون about one person? يدعون is about a group, which means what they said about her, now they all started doing to him, alayhi salam. They all want that. They invite me or call me, ahsanti. They, it's not she anymore. So now that they see him, subhanAllah, and he finds himself, they all want the same from him, and they're inviting him different ways, they're calling him for that. He said, the present is more beloved to me than what they all the group, call me, the me part is he, to or to it. So if now there is a comparison between them wanting something wrong from him and thinking because he is a servant, all what he has is himself, he cannot even have it, he has to give it if he was asked. Astaghfirullah. He's saying the prison is more beloved. So none of them is, subhanAllah. Do we understand this part of the verse? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Yusuf alayhi salam turned with a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said, oh, my Lord, or oh my Lord, the prison. After my Lord, add a comma, because there's a call to Allah, and then there's the rest of the statement. The prison is more beloved to me than what they, then you have to add between brackets all the other ladies together with her, like her and them, what they call me or invite me to, or to do. If you add to do, add do between brackets. And then he continued his dua. He said, وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ. So now look, if you doubted that they all are doing in the beginning, if you maybe said, did I misunderstand? Are they all doing the same now? You see here, hunna. كَيْدَهُنَّ. It's not كَيْدَهَا, for example, one singular. It's hunna. Hunna is group or one. In Arabic, again, those of you that know a little bit of grammar can help. Group. So he's still speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and saying, and if, oh Allah, if you want to add it, add capital Y, so remember that he's still talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't put away. Sarafa is to divert away from me. So sarafa, tasrif, to divert away from me, anni, away from me, their kaid. Kaid here is what? Remember when you explained kaid? Kaid is to intend to do something harmful for another person. From a human to human, a person could intend to do something harmful for another human that didn't do anything to them. Is an intention or a want to harm someone with an unseen, untold plan or way. Because look, all of them are in a seating area that only women are there. They invited him to be there, right? No one can see what's happening, like to their idea, like no other people in the house can see that. And they all now want the same thing. And they find it okay, to do with him. So he's saying they want harm, and he, with his means, with his position in that place, he can't stop them. So he's turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him the strength. And even he preferred to go to be isolated, locked in a different place, rather than staying with them. So إِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ. So إِلَّا can be understood as if not. Tasrif, he's speaking to Allah, you divert, and then anni, away from me, their kaid, their plan, their intention to harm me. Then he said, like he is expressing his human weakness. He's saying, asbu ilayhinna. Asbu is like has a way of inclination, like he's going to try his best to stay firm, but what if he can't? He's now worried, he's now scared. That's why he's talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Asbu ilayhinna, I could or may incline toward them. And then he said, وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. That would be what? Jahl. We had this jahl, the word jahl before. What does jahl mean? Jahl. When we say someone, okay, you have to explain what you mean by ignorance, because we explained jahl is not the opposite of not knowing. A person who is jahil, that doesn't mean that they don't know. That's one of the meanings, ahsanti. So a jahil person is a person who is misinformed, so they were told wrongly about something, or a person who has a knowledge and doesn't act upon it. We call one of these two jahil. So the opposite of alim is not jahil. The opposite of alim is a person who doesn't know. La ya'lam. There is a ya'lam and la ya'lam. What is the proof? You have a verse in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ. What's the opposite? وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Exactly. There is a la to the opposite. So are the ones who know and those who don't know equal? So back to the flow. So jahil is a person who was given knowledge but didn't take it on board, or that he was misinformed about something. So of course he will act to the people who know about that thing the right way. He would look like he's unaware. He doesn't know. But that's not because he doesn't know. He knew, but he knew wrongly. Okay. So he's saying, I'm if this happened, if I incline toward them, then I am going to be, or I am, without even to be if you want, from al-jahilin. Write al-jahilin in Arabic, like in English letters, al-jahilin, and explain between brackets. Those who have knowledge, but didn't act upon it. He knows that this is wrong. But with all this pressure, he find it hard to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him the strength. So they all, I can see that they all, A'udhu Billah, explained it as ignorant or ignorance. I advise you to leave it as al-jahilin, like it is, and explain it between brackets what is you see, okay, alhamdulillah, not all of them said al-jahilin, ignorant, sorry. Some here said, I shall yield to them and do wrong, but despite the fact that I know what is right. So if someone knows that it is wrong to lie, right? If someone knows it is wrong to lie and then lies anyway, we call that what? Jahl. If someone knows that lying is forbidden, is wrong, is haram, but then lies anyway, what do we call that? Jahl. So is it someone who can miss? No, it is one of two cases. You merged both cases, my sisters, together. So look at, Romana, can you please repost your answer again? It is one of or two cases, one of two. A person who is jahil is a person who has the knowledge, like the person who knows that lying is wrong, but then lies. That's called jahl. Or a person that was told lying is okay. He was taught that by his parents, by his guardian, the one who's looking after him. He was told that lying is okay. So if he now came in an environment that has people know the truth, which is that lying is wrong, he is jahil to them because he was misinformed. He will say, but they taught me that at home. They taught me it's okay to lie. That is what jahl still. So it's one of two cases. My sister, can you see? Avoids the truth knowing it is the truth. So if someone knows the truth and avoids it and doesn't act upon it, is jahil. And if someone was misinformed the truth to start with, is jahil too. Is that clear? Can you confirm? Is clear for all? And you can see here, alhamdulillah, at least one didn't use ignorant. Okay, I'll ask you now. I'll ask you now a few things, like to check if you understood jahl correctly or not. So, if someone you ask you for a cup of milk, imagine a child, let's say 6 years old, a friend of your son, or like came to you and you say, can I have some milk, please? So you put a cup of milk and you give to him to say, he say, no, I want milk, please. So you say, this is milk. They say, no, milk is orange. This is white. We don't have white milk in our home. We have only orange milk in our home. So what is that? Jahl, exactly. He was told by someone that maybe when they give them the orange juice, they say milk for it. So he understood that's what milk looks like. That's jahl. Another case, if someone, let's say, claimed that dhuhr is 3 rakat. So say, no, dhuhr, the Prophet ﷺ taught us to pray 4 rakat dhuhr. No, it's 3. and insists on having it 3. So we say, okay, maybe you're misinformed. Let's show you the proof. Or you know it is 4, but you're acting or avoiding the truth. In both cases, you are acting with jahl. Is that clear, my sisters? Okay, so this is the end of verse 33. Verse 33 had a dua, Yusuf alayhi salam turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we understood as well that it is not only now her alone, they all wanted the same thing from him. And we understood from previous verse that what is it that they want from him is the only thing he has a say on it, which is himself. As if they're depriving him from even have authority to say, it's me, I don't allow you to come near me. They don't want that. They still want even him to give himself up. But he doesn't want that. And he said, to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying that the prison is more beloved to me than what they call me to or for or to do. And made the rest of the dua. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't put their kaid away from him, maybe he will incline to them, and then therefore he will be from jahilin, from those who have the knowledge. He knows it's wrong, but he won't be able to stop it. He will have to do it. He is worried about that, concerned about that. Okay. Then what happened? Look, what happened? فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ. His Rabb, his Lord, subhanahu wa ta'ala, استجاب له. So fa is so, استجاب. أحسنتي. To answer a dua or to respond to the dua as well is jawab. So jawab in Arabic can be an answer, or jawab can be a response. That's why some of them said responded. Someone said answered. Okay. His Lord, subhanahu wa ta'ala, istajaba lahu. You have to read this and wait. Don't rush to read the rest of the verse. Wait. Can you imagine? I have to take you back. Many of the times we understand the Quran by slowing down. So Yusuf alayhi salam in a situation that he's in a room with many women, and those women want something from him himself. He doesn't want to give it, and he doesn't know the way out. Where did he turn to? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who created him and the one who created the women. He has a choice not to do it. He's keeping himself firm not to do it, but he's worried about himself. So he turned to him, oh Allah, protect me. Oh Allah, like he's asking for a way out of this. And from there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, istajaba lahu rabbuhu. And then he said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنَّ, which is what he wanted. So remember how we explained sarafa. So fa is so. What does sarafa mean? Who took note of sarafa? Diverted, ahsanti. Put away, diverted away from him. All of them, not her alone, all of them, their kaid. Okay, I have to stop here and give you a few reflections. Please take note. We're going to start with them next time. And when you look at the trials Yusuf alayhi salam went through, we reflected on that when the situation with Imratul Aziz started. I told you there, remember, maybe if I didn't, may Allah forgive me, and if I did, remind me. The first time when he had the situation with his brothers, he didn't have a choice in that. It was the first trial he had, and he didn't have a choice in that to decide what to do Okay, what to do or what not to do. Okay, then in the house of Al-Aziz, he had another trial. But when he has a choice to do or not, he chose not to. He stayed firm, he chose not to. However, did the trial decrease or did the trial increase? That's the first note. Ahsantum. It increased. Instead of one only wanting that from him, now it's a whole group. And he alhamdulillah, he managed to get rid of the first situation. Now it's more, it's escalating, it's not decreasing, right? Okay. And then out of that trial, to get out of it, he's going to go where? Is he going to be moved to a different house, go to a different owner, maybe be free, maybe go back to his family? Because this is when you are in the trouble, this is what you're thinking. I want a way out and I want a way out fast. I want things to go back to normal, right? But no, he's not going out of there for a free life or for his back to his family. A'udhu billah, he's going to the prison. But in going there is one thing he wanted, his heart desired, which is that he gets ready of he gets ready rid of sorry not ready he gets rid of their kaid. He doesn't have to handle them and their problem anymore. But you see now, it's not going, the scale of the trial is not decreasing, although their kaid is now going to stop, but another trial is about to start, which is him being locked in the prison. Do we understand that? Okay, we're going to start with these reflections next time, so have them ready and reflect on your own situation. Which stage are you in? You cannot be in the first time stage, like when you have no choice. If you are, then what happened is not your fault. If you are in the second stage, like you had a choice, but maybe you chose right, or maybe you chose wrong, and then it continued to increase. Is it still increasing or not? You have to, this is your own reflection. Is it increasing or not? And if it's increasing, what you expect next? You trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but maybe it will get a little bit more. Before the relief comes, maybe it will get a little bit more tighter. You need to be pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's qadr. You need to be firm on trusting him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, I don't want to take longer. Inshallah, we'll continue next time. Jazakumullah khairan for attending. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-jannata wa ma qarraba ilayha min qawlin wa amal wa na'udhu bika min an-nar wa ma qarraba ilayha min qawlin وعمل. رب فك أسر المأسورين وفرج هم المهمومين ونفس كرب المكروبين واقض الدين عن المدينين واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إياكم.